Petroplatz is here in Austin, Texas. We've come all the way from Germany to visit one of the leading suppliers in our industry, Dover Fueling Solutions. It's now been 5 years since this company began its new journey to become an end-to-end supplier and uniting many big brands under one umbrella. Today, we'll be talking to David Crouse, who's been leading the charge for these 5 years, and we'll see what the future holds for this company. We'll see his vision on some of the trends and situations in the current market and many more things. So stay with us. It's been 5 years now since the beginning of Dover Fueling Solutions. How do you look back on these 5 years?
Yeah, well, it's been very exciting. As you know, Dover Fueling Solutions is comprised of 6 businesses. So at the very beginning, we had 6 company cultures with 6 different strategies and 6 ways of doing business. So the first few years were all about harmonizing processes and harmonizing our thinking and really creating a strategy, a singular strategy for the business. That's where we really developed this idea of becoming the product leadership business in our segment. And what we mean by product leadership is really having highly differentiated products in terms of the value they create for our customers. So the first 5 years were very much around integration, harmonizing how to work as a single business. We spent a lot of time working on a single company culture, because as you can imagine, there were 6 different cultures in the business, and I think we've done a very good job with that, and that's really helped us, I think, be successful during this whole coronavirus as well. So yes, a lot of work in the first 5 years.
As you said, there's a few keys in there, which I guess those 5 years were about creating this harmony, this identity, a new company culture that feeds in from the previous ones. So now that it seems like you're settled as this large company, how do you see the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think the next 5 are going to be very rewarding. And it's really continuing down the path of product leadership. And we'll do that really following 3 different paths. One will be around innovation and new product development, and those are the work we'll do internally at DFS. And you've seen probably a lot of examples of that during your visit today. But the Anthem user interface, our whole DX cloud platform, all of that is really internally developed. We'll also do that through creating partnerships with other companies. We have a partnership with Microsoft Azure as our cloud partner. We formed a partnership with Edge Patrol, who does fuels pricing as a solution. And most recently partnered with Techniche, who does compliance and asset management as a solution. So partnerships will be a key part for us as well. And the way we created our DX cloud platform, it's an open platform, meaning it's easy for us to partner with people that bring to the table really, really great solutions. And then lastly, we'll continue to pursue acquisitions. And with Edge Patrol, we did make a minority investment in that business. And then most recently, we acquired Avalan, who's a company that does wired and wireless solutions, really to make everything at a modern C-store a connected device in a very secure manner. So we'll follow those 3 paths: internal innovation, partnerships, acquisition.
DFS now has become almost or completely an end-to-end supplier. You provide solutions from POS to fuel dispensers to all the software around it. In which categories do you see the potential for biggest growth?
Yeah, I think it'll come through 3, product segments, and 2 of which are really around ways that we can increase the profitability for our customers. So the first one is increasing profitability through driving incremental revenue opportunities. And that's what the Anthem interface is all about. That's what our DX Promote, which is sending targeted ads to the Anthem dispenser. At the NACS, you're going to see some store the future concepts where you could perhaps place orders at the dispenser, but it'll be around finding solutions that create incremental revenue for customers. The second will be increasing customer profitability through driving efficiencies. And that's like our Edge Patrol, the pricing, our DX wet stock, which is all about managing your wet stock inventories, and remote monitoring through DX Monitor. It's where you can remotely check on the health of a site without actually physically having to go there. So I think those two will be primary drivers. And then the second one or third one will be, of course, the alternative fuels dispensing, the whole ecosystem that goes around the alternative fuels, which will be customer interface, there'll be payment involved. But those three things I think will drive above market growth in the medium term.
We've seen that finally this year EMV had its deadline after several postponements. Any major regulatory changes that could affect the fueling, payment, or commerce business that you see in the next years in the US?
Yeah, I think the US will follow Europe and probably embrace the point-to-point encryption. So I see that on the horizon. It may not be in the immediate term, but it'll be in the midterm probably. And then in fuels compliance, in the late 1990s, North America had a regulation that required the replacement of all tanks and piping with double wall. Those carried a 30-year warranty. So really we're going to run up against that kind of end of life, which should cause some major remodeling of sites in the United States. And then, in general, even around the world, we always see evolving regulations. I mean, there's still countries that are doing stage 2 vapor recovery, still requiring like in-station diagnostics for vapor recovery systems. We see a lot of fraud prevention regulations in countries like India and Brazil. So there'll always be waves of regulation, and that's an important driver of our business.
Mm-hmm. For all the innovations and all the new businesses, I guess at its core, DFS is a sort of fueling company. How do you see the current map of regular and alternative fuels in the US?
Yeah, so I think we have fueling in our name, and fueling is part of our history. But our strategy really is to have a solution for whatever energy sources our customers want to embrace. And we should have that fully in place really during the course of next year. So whether our customers want to put in conventional fuels with LNG or conventional fuels in hydrogen or EV charging, we'll have a solution for all of those energy sources. And I think it's important to think of it this way. All of that blend of alternative fuels and traditional fuels really creates some complexity for our customers. So we think having a solution for all those fuels and provide kind of the ecosystem of solutions that go around it are really a winning combination to help our customers really reach their alternative fuel plans.
And I guess in the US it's quite interesting because you have forces like California and some lobbying in the Democratic side that really push for a very fast change.
Right.
And then you have some other parts of the country. So how do you see this balance? Do you think the California way will speed up this process, or do you think there'll be some kind of balance?
I think it'll go faster than everyone expects. That's the assumption that we're making. A lot of the investment around alternative fuels so far has been not in a convenience store format. It's been in parking lots or municipal garages, shopping malls, things like that. I think that will very quickly change, and we'll start to see probably dramatic investment around alternative fuels at modern convenience stores.
You've been involved in the industry for 20 years now, and for many of those in leadership positions. How do you see this kind of evolution that we've seen from gas stations being a provider of regular liquid fuels for people to fuel up into this multi-energy, multi-commerce stations?
I think change has been very gradual up until just the recent last few years. And now I think we're going to see, a light speed a level of change moving forward, whether it's the digitization of sites or the embracing of alternative fuels. But like you said, the e-commerce hub, I think they'll expand their commerce options. So I think we've got tremendous change in front of us, and it should be very exciting.
Any major expansions on innovations coming from DFS that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, well, in the spirit of this product leadership strategy, really we have new products, innovation coming or to be launched throughout our whole portfolio of products and solutions. You'll see a lot of that at the NACS, but every one of our categories, whether it's tank aging or fleet, or our DX cloud platform, or dispensers, or the Anthem customer interface, you're going to see a progression of innovation around all of those platforms. And that is not going to stop. It'll be evolving constantly as time passes by. So I think we're really well positioned for the future and very excited about it.